QR codes. They're everywhere, on menus, delivery boxes, train stations, and city bikes. They're meant to make life easier, faster, and smarter. But what if I told you that one of these tiny black and white squares became the downfall of a tech empire worth billions? This is the story of Meituan, China's super app, and how its blind trust in a simple piece of tech turned into one of the most humiliating cybersecurity disasters in recent history. Let's break it down, step by step. 1. The rise of Meituan. Meituan started as a food delivery platform, but quickly evolved into one of China's largest tech ecosystems. From ride-hailing and hotel bookings to grocery shopping and movie tickets, Meituan was the ultimate lifestyle app. It served over 600 million users across hundreds of cities. The convenience was unmatched, and investors loved it. The company was valued at over $200 billion at its peak. Its bike-sharing service, especially, became a symbol of smart urban living. With just one scan, users could hop on a yellow bike and be on their way. But behind this sleek system was a fatal flaw that no one saw coming. 2. The bike-sharing boom. Meituan's bright yellow bikes became a part of daily life in urban China. With millions of them parked in neat rows across major cities, the convenience was addictive. You didn't need an app download anymore. Just scan the QR code on the bike and ride. The technology felt revolutionary. Students used them to commute to classes, office workers pedaled to meetings, and tourists zipped through parks. It reduced traffic congestion and encouraged eco-friendly habits. But the one thing no one questioned was the code itself. There were no authentication layers, no encryption, just a printed QR code that anyone could replicate, and someone eventually did. Security consultants had warned the industry before, but no one listened. QR codes were cheap and easy, and that made them vulnerable. The illusion of safety was more dangerous than any real threat, and Meituan was sitting on a ticking time bomb. 3. QR code, the weakest link. The QR code is often seen as harmless, just a shortcut to a website or app. But in this case, it was the perfect backdoor. Hackers began printing fake QR codes that looked identical to the originals. They pasted them onto thousands of Meituan bikes late at night. To the human eye, there was no difference. But behind the scenes, users were being redirected to malicious websites. These sites mimicked Meituan's official payment page. Some prompted users to enter their bank details. Others asked for login credentials. Many installed malware the moment users tapped Continue. It was the ultimate digital Trojan horse, hidden in plain sight. 4. Thousands fall into the trap. Within days, thousands of people were affected. Users reported unauthorized transactions, drained wallets, and hijacked accounts. But by the time the news hit the media, the damage had already spread. These weren't tech-illiterate victims. They were everyday professionals, students, parents, people who trusted the system. Some had their Meituan wallets linked to their personal bank accounts, amplifying the losses. Others lost sensitive personal data, including ID numbers and location history. The worst part? No one knew who was responsible. The QR code system left no trace. The attackers were invisible, but the consequences were brutally real. 5. The domino effect. As the scam spread, chaos followed. Meituan's customer service lines were flooded. Social media blew up with stories, warnings, and screenshots. Hashtags like #QRScam and #MeituanHack started trending. Videos went viral showing users comparing fake and real QR codes and failing. Public trust was crumbling fast. News agencies picked up the story, and the pressure on Meituan intensified. Meanwhile, copycat criminals began targeting other bike-sharing companies and services. The attack exposed not just Meituan's weakness, but an entire industry's over-reliance on a vulnerable piece of technology. Suddenly, the entire concept of bike-sharing felt unsafe. Other companies began recalling their fleet, fearing similar breaches. What started as a Meituan crisis became a sector-wide panic, and users started abandoning these services in droves. 6. Meituan's silence made it worse. In the first 48 hours, Meituan remained quiet. There was no official statement, no emergency update, no system-wide alert to users. That silence was deafening. It made users feel abandoned, and it allowed the scam to keep growing unchecked. When the company finally responded, it was vague and full of PR jargon. We are aware of the situation and investigating. But for the people who lost money and trust, it wasn't enough. Transparency was missing, and in crisis communication, that can be fatal. Instead of taking control of the narrative, Meituan became the target of it. 7. Stock market panic. Once the media storm began, it didn't take long for investors to react. Meituan's stock price nosedived. In just 1 week, the company lost over $26 billion in market value. Major stakeholders began pulling back. Analysts downgraded their forecasts. The company's name was now associated not with innovation, but with recklessness. This wasn't just a tech glitch, it was a systemic failure. A multi-billion-dollar enterprise undone by a paper sticker and a lack of foresight. Shareholders were furious, and competitors saw an opening. 8. The government crackdown. It didn't take long before Chinese authorities stepped in. Regulatory bodies launched formal investigations into Meituan's cybersecurity standards. The government accused the company of negligence and failure to protect consumer data. Heavy fines followed. New guidelines were imposed, including the mandatory use of encrypted dynamic QR codes and two-factor verification for all digital access points. Meituan had to comply with stricter regulations and security audits. The scandal wasn't just bad PR. It became a national cybersecurity lesson, one that cost Meituan its public image and billions of dollars in value. 9. Damage control begins. Scrambling to survive, Meituan rolled out a full overhaul. The company redesigned its entire bike access system. Static QR codes were replaced with encrypted ones that changed every few minutes. They implemented real-time fraud detection algorithms and began educating users through pop-ups and alerts. But the damage had already been done. Millions had deleted the app. Brand loyalty had shattered. Some vendors pulled their partnerships. Competitors like Didi and HelloBike gained ground quickly. Meituan learned the hard way. Recovery in tech is slow, and reputation is fragile. 10. The lesson in all this. What happened to Meituan is now taught in cybersecurity circles as a textbook example of digital complacency. The company didn't fall because of a massive data center breach or elite hackers with state-sponsored funding. It fell because of something ridiculously simple: a static QR code, a piece of paper, a sticker. And that's what makes it so terrifying. In today's world, where convenience is king, security often takes the backseat. But when your system is built on blind trust, it only takes one bad actor to burn the whole thing down. And that's how a simple QR code shook a tech giant to its core. In a world where technology moves fast, it's the small oversights that often cause the biggest crashes. If you found this story eye-opening, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe for more real tech disasters and unbelievable digital stories. Got thoughts on this collapse or similar incidents? Drop them in the comments below. We read every one. Thanks for watching, and stay one step ahead in the digital world.